Hey everyone, this is Diddy Witcher 1 here. I just wanted to make a quick video talking about this animatronic because this was just such a absolute failure from SVI and Home Depot. Now, the premise is neat, the concept is neat, it's a unique looking face. Those are all very valid things. However, the execution was just not it. Um, Aside from some of them being faulty with the pop-up mech, the biggest issue with this guy was the fact that some of his phrases, the jump scare that happens, takes such a long time. Now, obviously, there's things like Peekaboo Penny from Techie where there's talking for a bit, or even some of the clowns from Home or from Lowe's. Wow, I said the wrong word and then partially burped there. Excuse me. But there's those two techie clowns at Lowe's this year that have a kind of delayed jump scare, and they're kind of pushing it, but not too much. But with this, there's one phrase that I'm pretty sure there's like 20 seconds of dialogue with just the mouth moving before anything else happens. And I saw multiple people in the store just walk up, hit it, and then he's talking, and then they just walk away. Because if you're not, it's like if you want to have realism, you go for realism, because that's the impressive part. If you want a jump scare, you go for a jump scare, and that's the impressive part. This guy could easily have spoken for like at the most 5 seconds, and then the skull pops up, and that would have been better. But beyond the programming and whatnot, which is a crazy decision, you have to be, if I had to guess, in a real echo chamber to greenlight something like that. And I don't know if that was on SVI's end or Home Depot's end. Home Depot has had some incredible wins this year. Ironically, a lot of the Jimmy tabletops have been selling great. I mean, they're not even marked down at all right now, and all of the life sizes are 50% off. And the tabletops, in my opinion, are still too expensive, but they're selling pretty well. Even some of the less interesting ones. So they did well with tabletops this year, and then obviously things like the Bride of Frankenstein, absolutely incredible. They're selling for over 400 on eBay plus shipping, and it's borderline justified because of how well she's made. I mean, she's made pretty much perfectly, in my opinion, for a modern piece, and that with that kind of build. And if you want to see more about that, I did a video where I actually got one of those. But yeah, this guy, beyond the delayed jump scare, these are some very peculiar reviews going on here. I mean, 12% of customers recommend. Look at that spread. I mean, that is crazy. So I figured, let's go ahead and read some of these before, the season's over and the page gets deleted. Oh wow, I'm already seeing an open gearbox. That is rough. Alright, let's see. It's poorly designed. Gets broken after a few uses. Wow, that is insane, guys. I actually had not scrolled. I had not seen this review, probably because it just came out yesterday. I've had this page open for a while. Look at how many teeth are broken off on that gear. I mean, if that's supposed to be teeth all the way around, that's at least 6 teeth that are broken off. I mean, that is rough. Brought it home, pop-up doesn't work. We don't give refunds. And yeah, SVI this year, they decided to keep the replacement parts service and expand it beyond Home Depot pieces, which is awesome. I love that that's a thing. But they no longer will replace defective parts for free, which they did last year on 2 instances for me, which was very, very nice of them. Read all the negative reviews, which I did before purchase. Yeah, so with shipping, $30 for the new mech. This guy loves it. Not sure why people had problems. And normally SVI review will respond to pretty much every review. You know, they responded to this one, but there's some of these that there's not been a response to yet, which is interesting. He works. That's never a good sign if the headline for a review is "He works." Well, so they said this one did nothing at all. Popped up once and will not go back down. You gotta love when it says could be better and they give a 1-star review. I mean, could it if it's 1 star? Yeah, some of that glue is rough. Didn't work out of the box. I mean, you know, back in the day, you might have had something that would break. You know, once in a blue moon, you'd have an item that was explicitly defective. But the quality control this year in general just seems to be kind of all over the place. No moving or talking, so not even the mouth moving on the guy. You guys get the point. But yeah, there's a lot of pages of this. Well, she's only got 3 stars. The shark is mainly due to shipping because it wasn't packed very well. Hold on, what the heck is this while I'm here? But yeah, ironically, a lot of the Jimmy items have had pretty strong reviews, including like this guy, 5 stars, 5 stars, almost 5 stars, 5 stars. Like, look at these reviews. Like, this thing with this mech that sounds like it's always gonna break is rated higher than an SVI frontline piece. The remake Jack Skellington, better reviews. And this is the other one that was having a lot of problems. Also SVI. Pan Asian pieces have been doing pretty well this year. You know, it used to be that Pan Asian was the cheapo company. But if we look at these reviews, I mean, that is a 50-50 split between 5 and 1 star. This one is not as severe, it seems, but a lot of people are saying like many critical flaws, like the movements that stopped working or pieces came cracked. Neck is not working. So yeah, just one thing that Techie's really good at is packing. This one was crazy. The guy got 2, and one of them, it was just spilling out of the box. So ultimately, a lot of the problems with the other pieces that are struggling is from shipping, it seems, or just slight design flaws, like with how the pieces line up on this guy. But with this guy, it's just straight up defective, it seems. And there's a few Pan Asian items that you might see that are defective. Primarily the Raven, unfortunately. There's a couple where like the mouth is wired backwards, or the mouth and eyes aren't getting any power, stuff like that. But a majority of those seem to be good. But yeah, this guy in particular, it was just really rough, and I just wanted to showcase that. And at least you can see real... Is this AI generated? It almost looks like it is. I guess not. But that's interesting because this is... Whatever this is, this looks just like the one that Home Depot was selling by SVI. But anyways, my final point of this video, it's getting a bit long, is at least on Home Depot's website, you can see the negative reviews. because if you go on Spirit's website, almost everything that they sell is like no lower than 4 stars. I mean, just look at these reviews on like I mean, there's nothing that unless I missed it, there's nothing that I've scrolled by that has even 4 stars, like 4.5 at the lowest. That's like 4 3/4. But yeah, so clearly incredible quality control at Spirit Halloween. Definitely nothing faulty at all. Nothing with flaws. I would never suspect that there were any reviews that are being snubbed. Like, I would never suspect that. They marked this guy down at least. So cool, amazing, perfect. I don't know if Spirit Halloween customers live in an alternate reality or if they're just straight up deleting negative reviews, because especially considering that I don't recall, because back in the day there was a point where you couldn't return stuff to Spirit. I don't know if that's still the case, but there's things that I've seen in store that you would think would cause different reviews here. But yeah, there's a lot less reviews. Like you can see, this has 41. This thing has 12. So yeah, just wanted to make a little video talking about the state of the industry. Obviously, things like the Bride of Frankenstein, in terms of life size, are absolutely incredible and amazing and perfectly done. But then you have things like this, and you would hope that, for all the people that talk about how the modern industry is better than the older industry, sure, there's pros and cons of each, but you at least would like to have some degree of consistency, especially from one company. It's just, I know there's different price points and stuff, but with that should be just more or less features versus quality. So it's just kind of crazy to see. Obviously, this isn't a whole video specifically just to knock Home Depot. They have some great items this year. They have all reviews showing up, which is very commendable. And there's just a few decisions that were made that were pretty questionable, to say the least. And other decisions that are much better. So if certain people made certain decisions, maybe they should be doing all the decisions or something. But that's it for this video. Way too long anyways. Thanks for watching.